I should have spent a little more time today.
You ready? Okay.
I'm Casey Bond. I'm the program manager here. I'm a social worker, and my main job, there's a lot involved in it, but is to essentially manage the program. So anything that's program related, anything to do with the shelter, the staff, the direct care staff, and that's program related, I oversee that. So it's a lot of, again, a lot of different duties, and it kind of changes all the time, but that's my main role here.
Okay, and we have a couple of questions. What are some of the requirements for staying at the Samaritan Inn?
The main requirements are that you're able and willing to work full-time. You don't have to have a job when you get here, but you just have to be able to. We give everybody a drug test. You have to pass a drug test. We do criminal background on everybody. You can't have any kind of violent offenses, any kind of sexual crimes, anything like that. And then just, be able to verbalize a willingness to make some changes and a commitment to change and to work our program and to follow our rules.
Okay, and at the Samaritan Inn, whenever you enroll, how long are you allowed to stay?
It's different for everybody. The average length of stay is about 6 months for singles and about 9-10 months for families. Some stay shorter, some stay longer. We really believe in individualized plans here. Okay. Some shelters say you get 90 days, do what you can in that 90 days, but on the 90th day you have to leave. We don't believe in that because everybody's so different. They come in with a different set of circumstances and background, and some people have a large amount of debt. Some people have some mental health issues that they need to address or to get adjusted on meds. So we do pretty intensive case management here, and so every week each of our residents meets with their caseworker, and they review their goals, see their progress, and every week, as long as they're making progress, as long as they're working on their goals, they'll stay until we can get them back on their feet.
Okay, so is this a homeless shelter or is this more than a homeless shelter?
It's definitely more. We like to say we're a homeless program.
Okay.
We're by no means an emergency shelter. We don't do the overnight kind of. We will if it's inclement weather, if there's an emergency situation, we'll let somebody just maybe sleep in the lobby or something for the night. But that's not what we normally do.
Okay.
Typically, everybody has to meet the requirements and be able to work their program. So, it's not an emergency shelter. It's a program, and it's long term. And kind of follow through with everything.
Okay, and around how many people do you help every year?
Goodness. Well, we are always full, and we can hold about 160. And so that ends up being, through the shelter program, through the housing and case management, about 600 a year. And then we also do some, community assistance and outreach and prevention as well. So that brings the numbers closer, over 1,000, where we do a food box or some emergency case management, some crisis intervention, some rental assistance, things like that. So.
Okay, and on that topic, what kind of donations do you accept here?
We pretty much accept anything. We always like to say anything that you need in your house, we need that times 160. So our biggest needs all the time are, the day-to-day stuff, the laundry detergent, the toilet paper, food is a big need. Obviously, we serve 3 meals a day here and sack lunches. There's not much that we turn down. We also have a thrift store down the road, and 100% of those proceeds go back to the Samaritan Inn. And also our residents all, shop there for free. So if we can't accept the donation here, we don't have space, or it's not a good fit, then usually it's something that the thrift store can take and sell. So it all works out.
Okay, and how does this shelter help better a person's life?
I think it goes back to that we take the time to help them resolve their issues, and again, that the plans are individualized, that it's not a one-size-fits-all kind of program, and we know that, and so we individualize every plan. That makes us very different, and I think that's what makes us so successful.
Okay.
And two, since they're here so long, we get to know everybody really well. When they're here for 6 to 12 months, and our offices are here where they live. We get to see them all day long, and we get to know them well, and we have a really good rapport. So I think that helps too, to know that they have such strong advocates and people that we care about them, and so that makes us successful, I think.
Okay. What are many problems that you face here?
Well, the lack of space is the biggest issue, and we're working on that. We just closed on a piece of land just down the road, and our long-term goal is to build a family shelter so that we can separate the families and the singles, because that's always an issue. We have 60 kids that stay here. They're loud. They take up a lot of space. So the poor singles are kind of overrun by the kids, and we just want to be able to separate that out to where the families can feel like more in a family environment. So that's an issue. Lack of transportation is a tough one. We have C-Cart that runs now. We just now heard that TAPS is going to be taking over in July, which we're hoping is going to be a major improvement, that they're going to run longer hours and on weekends and things like that. But transportation is difficult because, our residents work all over Collin County, so it's difficult to get to Plano and Frisco and those areas if they don't have a car. Another major issue is health and dental. Dental especially is very difficult to get funding for, and healthcare is they can apply for the indigent program, but your income has to be pretty low for you to qualify for it. And it takes a little bit of time. It's a complicated process, but so health and dental is another huge need.
Okay, and can you just tell us anything that you think people in McKinney could help that they may not do?
There's all different ways to help. I think there's a fit for everybody, I think, as far as if you can't help financially, then maybe you can help with your time.
Okay.
If you can't help with your time, talk about us. If you go to church, tell your church groups or your Sunday school about us. It's strange, that there's still a lot of people in Collin County that don't know that we exist. And that's something we're really trying to change. And there's a way for everybody to help somehow. And so you just got to find out how that is and hopefully make it happen. A lot of students like you guys, just being interested and choosing us to do your report on is really amazing. And then it just help in any way you can. We rely very, very heavily on volunteers to handle the workload, but also, community members and churches are our biggest donors. We don't receive a whole lot of government funding and things like that, so we rely very heavily on the community. It's a really community kind of agency. It's neat.
Okay, and back to the children. What do the children do whenever they're here? Do they get to go to parks? Do they get to go to...
They live it up. Their social schedule is a lot better than mine. We have a children's caseworker named Rachel. She works solely with the kids. And then we also have a woman named Chris who technically works through McKinney ISD, but also takes on the role of special events for the kids and things like that. So we try to at least a couple times a week have some sort of party or game or social event. We do, especially during the summer, that's when we really can kick it off. They can choose a camp that they want to do, something they're interested in, maybe piano camp or acting classes or horse camp, or and then we do the big ones like the aquarium and the zoo trip and things like that. So we like to keep them busy. We like to keep them social, and we do a lot of fun stuff here, and then a lot of fun stuff offsite and with the community too.
Okay. Well, that's all of our questions. Do you have anything that you just want to let the community know?
I think I've said it all. I guess maybe just to a little bit more of our future plans and about the construction down the road, and just to kind of be on the lookout for some of our capital campaign will start in the next year or so, and if there's any way that anybody can help raise funds for that family shelter, we'd be very grateful. It's a big lofty goal, but I know we can reach it one day, and so that's a pretty big step for us, and in a good move for Collin County, and something that we all need. So.
Okay, well, thank you for letting us come out and interview you.
Oh my goodness, thank you for choosing us, and I know you could have picked anywhere, so thanks. Y'all are good students, good hearts, so.
Thank you.
Thanks. If anything else comes out, you have my number.
Yes, ma'am.
So